Forget Elon Musk. Forget Jeff Bezos. The person you think is the richest on earth isn't even close. We're all looking at the wrong people. We see guys like Musk, Bezos, and Arnault battling for the #1 spot. The real money, the craziest fortunes, aren't held by one person. They are held by an entire family. Today, I'm going to show you a family so ridiculously wealthy they make regular billionaires look completely broke. This family used a simple idea to build a retail empire worth over $4 billion. That's not just more than any single person has. Their fortune is bigger than the economies of entire countries like Greece and Hungary combined. This is the insane story of the Walton family and how their creation, Walmart, became a money-printing machine unlike anything the world has ever seen. You've all heard of Walmart, right? The big blue and yellow sign you see everywhere. You think low prices, maybe rollbacks. But you have no idea how insanely rich the family behind it actually is. According to analysts, the Waltons are the richest family on the planet, with a net worth up to $4 To show you how crazy that is, they are 4 times richer than the Ambani family, the next richest family in the world. Their wealth isn't just a number. It's a force of nature. Get this, in just 1 year, their wealth went up by $32.7 billion because of Walmart's stock. That's like someone handing you the entire fortune of Oracle's founder, Larry Ellison, for free in just 12 months. And this isn't some ancient European secret money or royal family oil money. The Walton story started with one guy in a tiny store in the middle of Arkansas. A story of pure hustle and a business model that changed the world forever. But under the surface, it's an engine designed to create massive wealth and influence that goes way beyond just selling groceries. So, how did one man with a single small store lay the foundation for a dynasty richer than entire nations? Let's dive in. First, the humble origins of an empire. This story doesn't start on Wall Street or in Silicon Valley. It starts with a guy named Sam Walton, born in Arlington, Texas. He grew up during the Great Depression, so he knew what it was like to have no money. As a kid, this dude was a hustler. He sold magazines, delivered milk, and even raised and sold rabbits just to help his family survive. This taught him one simple thing: people want value. After fighting in World War II, a 26-year-old Sam took a massive risk. He borrowed 20 grand from his father-in-law, threw in 5 grand of his own, and bought a small Ben Franklin variety store in Newport, Arkansas. He wasn't a retail genius, but he had a secret weapon, a revolutionary idea. Back then, people in small towns paid way more for stuff than people in big cities. Sam believed if he could offer prices that were just as good, or even better, people would shop with him. He put this to the test immediately. He started aggressively discounting everything, not as a temporary sale, but as his entire business model. He literally bought stuff for 80 cents and sold it for $1 when everyone else sold it for $1. He believed he'd make up for it by selling tons of stuff. And guess what? It worked. In his first year, revenue shot up 45%. After 5 years, that store was making $250,000 a year. But then disaster struck. The landlord saw how much money Sam was making, refused to renew his lease, and bought the store for himself. At 22, Sam lost everything he had built. But did he quit? No way. He packed up his family, moved to a tiny town called Bentonville, Arkansas, and started all over again with a new store, Walton's 5 and Dime. That little store is now the official Walmart museum. For the next 10 years, he and his brother Bud expanded to 16 stores. But Sam wanted to go bigger. He was convinced the future was giant discount stores in small towns. The executives at his old company told him it was a stupid idea, so Sam did it himself. On July 2nd, 1962, he opened the very first Walmart discount city in Rogers, Arkansas. This wasn't just another store. It was the birth of a titan, a retail model built on one obsession: cut costs, squeeze suppliers, and give customers the lowest price, no matter what. It was a simple idea that would become the foundation of a $462 billion empire. Second, the machine that prints money, deconstructing Walmart. So how do you actually make $500 billion from a store? The answer is insane scale. That first Walmart was just the start. By 1970, there were 38 stores. By 1980, there were 276 stores doing over $1 billion in sales. And in the 90s, it just exploded, going nationwide and then international. Listen to this. Walmart is the biggest company in the entire world by revenue. Not the biggest store, the biggest company, period. Last year, Walmart made an unbelievable $648 billion in revenue. It has over 10,500 stores in 19 countries and is the world's largest private employer with over 2.1 million employees. This thing is a global economic juggernaut, but making a lot of money isn't what made the family rich. Owning the company is what made them rich. From the very beginning, Sam set it up so his family would stay in control. Today, the Walton family owns about 45% of all of Walmart. Here's how that prints money. When you own a piece of a company and that company makes a profit, they give you a piece of that profit. It's called a dividend. And when you own 45% of the biggest company on earth, you get billions of dollars in dividends every single year. It's like a paycheck, but instead of thousands, it's billions. But that's not even the craziest part. The real money comes from the stock price going up. In just one recent 12-month period, the value of their stock went up by an estimated $172.7 billion. They made all that money just by owning the stock while it went up, because they own almost half of a company with a market cap that floats around $60 billion. This whole money machine works because of Sam Walton's original ideas. They built their own private satellite network in the 80s just to track their inventory. And because they're so huge, they can bully suppliers into giving them the lowest possible price, crushing all the smaller competition. This entire system is a perfectly tuned engine designed to do one thing: make profit. And by owning almost half of that engine, the Walton family became the richest dynasty in history. If you think this is insane, smash that like button. It really helps us out. And we're about to meet the heirs who inherited all this money, and trust me, it gets even crazier. Third, meet the heirs, a new generation of wealth. When Sam Walton died in 1992, the empire didn't fall apart. Instead, he gave all the money and control to his 4 kids, Rob, John, Jim, and Alice. This is when the family went from a regular company to a full-blown dynasty, and they took rich to a whole new level. First up is the oldest son, Rob Walton. He took over as chairman of Walmart and ran the company until 2015, making it even bigger. But recently, he did something wild. In 2015, he bought the Denver Broncos NFL team for $400 billion. With his personal fortune of over $19 billion, he instantly became the wealthiest owner in the entire league. He could buy a whole NFL team like you and I buy a video game. Then there's his sister, Alice Walton, with a net worth of around $1 billion. She's usually the richest woman on earth, but she never wanted to work at Walmart. She's into art. Her passion started when she was 10, buying a $2 Picasso print. Today, she has one of the most incredible collections of American art on the planet. But she didn't just keep the art for herself. She wanted to bring it to regular people. So in 2011, she opened the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in their tiny hometown of Bentonville, Arkansas. The building alone cost over $50 million. And the art inside is worth hundreds of millions more. And to make sure anyone could see it, she made admission completely free. She literally built a world-class art museum in the middle of nowhere and lets everyone in for free. The youngest son, Jim Walton, is the banker of the family. He was on Walmart's board for years, but his main job is running Arvest Bank, which the family owns. It started as one tiny local bank, and under Jim, it's grown into a $27 billion banking giant. It's just another way the family prints money. With a personal fortune over $117 billion he's now passed. His Walmart board, seat to his son, Stuart, locking in the 3rd generation of control. And it doesn't stop there. Their cousin, Ann Walton Kroenke, is married to the sports mogul Stan Kroenke. You might have heard of him. He owns the Los Angeles Rams, the Denver Nuggets, the Colorado Avalanche, and the English soccer team Arsenal. Between art, banking, and owning basically every sports team, this family's influence is everywhere. Fourth, the scale of $462 billion. A global power, it is literally impossible for your brain to understand how much $462 billion is. So let's try some comparison. The Walton family's fortune is bigger than the entire economic output of many countries. They are richer than Greece. They are richer than Hungary. They are richer than oil-rich Iran. If the Walton family was a country, it would be in the top 50 or 60 richest nations on the planet. Think about Elon Musk, right? super rich. The Waltons are worth roughly double what he is. You could take all of Jeff Bezos's money, and the Waltons would still have over $200 billion left over. They're not just a step above other billionaires. They're playing a completely different game. This incredible economic power lets them shape the world. They actively give away billions through the Walton Family Foundation for things like education and the environment. But here's the crazy part. Critics point out that the billions they donate are just a tiny fraction of their wealth and nothing compared to the dividends they get every single year. And the company they control has literally changed the global economy in something called the Walmart effect. On one hand, their relentless drive for low prices has been credited with saving the average family thousands of dollars a year. But on the other hand, that same pressure has been blamed for pushing down wages for millions of retail workers. Walmart has the power to make or break other companies. Getting a contract with Walmart can make you a massive success overnight. Losing that contract can mean you go bankrupt. They have that much power. Their wealth has become its own force of gravity, shaping the world we live in from behind a curtain of privacy. Fifth, the other side of the coin: controversy and criticism. But with this much money and power, there's always a dark side. And the Waltons have faced a ton of criticism for decades. One of the biggest issues has always been about their employees. For years, critics and activists have accused Walmart of paying wages so low that many of its workers have to rely on government programs like food stamps and Medicaid just to survive. Basically, critics argue that American taxpayers are subsidizing Walmart's profits by helping their employees get by. The company has also been famous for fighting against unions, which opponents say is a way to stop workers from organizing for better pay. And the Walmart effect is a real thing for thousands of small towns. The strategy Sam Walton perfected, opening huge stores that crush all competition, has wiped out countless local mom-and-pop shops. These small businesses just can't compete with Walmart's scale and low prices, which has forever changed the face of Main Street, USA. Even their charity work gets criticized. People argue that the billions they give away are just a drop in the ocean compared to their ever-growing fortune. They say it's more about public relations than a real desire to fix the systemic problems that helped them get so unbelievably rich in the first place.